Buyers, this is your year and I'm going to tell you why. Number one, no more panic buying. So beginning of last year, we would place an offer and there would literally be like 27 other offers behind ours. That is no longer the case. We are starting to see much less competition for buyers to get a home now. Number two is that you guys now have more options. So you have more choices. So despite inventory being relatively limited, it's not as low as it was in 2021 and early 2022. We're seeing more homes come out on the market, and we're also seeing that these homes are lasting a longer amount of days on the market. And that's an opportunity for us because we are able to negotiate and get that home below asking price. Number three is that there's no need for a 30-year fixed mortgage rate. I recently watched a video by Brian Buffini. He's a leader in the real estate industry, and he says that you buy and then you refi. So basically you buy now, you get the home you want now, and then later in 3, 5 years, even 10 years from now, you refinance. Now, this is amazing because last year we saw a lot of buyer's remorse. So a lot of buyers, given the high competition, given that interest rates were extremely low and inventory was very limited, a lot of buyers did not have the chance to think their decision through. They did not have the chance to really, or the time to really think that purchase through, and they ended up regretting their purchase. Some say they wish they would have bought in a better area, others that they wish they would have bought, I don't know, a bigger house. And now it's your time because you guys actually have the time to think. You have time to search, you have time to place your offer, and you have time to get something you actually love, given that competition is not so high right now. Now, interest rates and rental prices. So there was recently a chart that the National Association of Realtors shared, and it shows that rent has almost doubled in the last 5 years, and it's going to continue increasing. Jerome Powell recently mentioned that rent is going to be one of the largest contributors to inflation. So I really do recommend that if you are renting, you begin to save. Stop eating at Carbone and stop eating at fancy restaurants in Miami and start saving for the down payment of your home. Remember that purchasing real estate is a way to hedge inflation, and it's also a way to build wealth. So I really do recommend that you begin to save, because at the end of the day, when you're renting, you're paying for someone else's mortgage. And I can literally show you, it's just a quick numbers game, that your rental payment is probably higher than your mortgage payment if you were to buy. So that's something very important to take into account. And also, we do see interest rates continue to rise throughout the year. They're not gonna rise quickly, they're gonna rise slowly. But again, the Federal Reserve has mentioned numerous times that their target inflation rate is 2%. So that being said, that only means that the way to reach this target is by rising interest rates. So the sooner you buy, the better, because you will lock in a better interest rate. And then lastly, regarding home prices, we do not see that prices will drop significantly in South Florida. And remember, if you're a first-time home buyer or a buyer in general, like, remember that usually you hold, I mean, I'm guessing you're gonna hold that piece of real estate for 5 to 10 years. And in that time frame, it will appreciate. What you should focus on are your monthly payments, because those are your monthly expenses. So that's what you should be really focusing on. Your home will appreciate. If you're buying in South Florida, your home will appreciate in the next 5 to 10 years. We don't see prices dropping significantly. Remember that in the US, every real estate market is different. So the real estate market, you can't compare the real estate market in Arizona to the real estate market in Florida to the real estate market in California with Texas, et cetera, et cetera. At the end of the day, the real estate market is driven by supply and demand and demographic trends, and that varies by state. So given that, at least in South Florida, we are seeing that there's a lot of foreign buyers coming from Latin America due to their political and economic situation over there. They're coming here, and that is, keeping demand high. So yes, prices may drop, but they're not going to drop by 20%. At least we don't see that coming here in South Florida. I remember when I was looking to buy, everyone was like, you're crazy, you're buying at an all-time high, etc., etc. So it's about working with a professional. It's about studying the facts. Don't be driven by fear. Don't be driven by emotions. Don't be driven by the mass media, because those are not facts. Those are just opinions. So it's important to work with a professional. If you're not working with one, we would love to work with you. We would love to serve you. And of course, we will always guide and advise you for your best interest. So thank you for watching.